Okay, so we're just going to start on the mat. Just that camera a little bit. Okay, perfect. Nice and grounded through the feet. So that's super simple, just shifting side to side, lifting up through the sides of the feet. Lovely mobility through the feet and ankles. And I want you to really focus on the roll from side to side. So we're not just lifting the feet, we're rolling from one side to the other. So we notice that connection with the feet to the ground. Okay, and then we're going to come forward and back. So onto the toes, onto the heels. Just noticing all 10 of those toes and gently pressing them into the ground as we shift the weight forward. And I want you to really take notice of the 3 points of the feet, the tripod of the foot, the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the heel. So a nice wide, strong base of support. And then we're going to take ourselves right up onto the toes, pressing down through the big toes, and then shifting back to the heels. So we're awakening the core stabilization system of the body. Pressing down through the big toe, and we want to be able to find that sweet spot at the top where we could hold it if we wanted to, okay? So we want to hit that point where we take it right up onto the toes and it's minimal effort. Okay, we've got that nice activation from the calves, through the plantar fascia to the underside of the foot. And we're going to do that once more. Okay, we relax down. So a single-sided, we're going to stand on one leg, lengthen through the supporting side. We're going to lift up through the foot and we're going to circle through the ankle. And then we're going to change direction. Nice big full circles. And then we switch to the other side. Lengthen through the supporting side, grounded through the tripod of the foot. We lift the other foot and we're going to create those big, full circles of the ankle. These big circles, and then we change direction. Amazing. We relax the foot down. We're going to take the feet into a narrow stance, glide the hands down to the knees, and we're just going to circle through the knees, noticing what goes on at the feet. So we're trying to keep the feet as grounded as possible. We will get that shift, but that's okay. Just notice what's going on through there. And if we can, we're going to take it into that deep knee bend as we create those circles. Just keeping the heels grounded. And then we're going to change direction. Nice deep knee bend. And we circle through those knees. Nice and nourishing for the knees. We bring it into a strong standing position. Okay, next exercise, we're going to take ourselves down into a high kneeling position. Now, if kneeling isn't a good option for you, I'll just quickly show you. Take something you can support your hands on, and we'll do the exact same kind of movements, but in a standing position. Okay, so high kneeling position. We're going to have those toes onto the ground, and we're going to sit the bottom back towards the heels. So if you are in a standing position, you can either raise up onto the toes, or you can take the emphasis on one side, okay, and then we're taking one foot back onto the toes, and we're just lifting up through that heel. So we get nice mobility through the foot. Okay, if we need to let them load, we lift the bottom away from the heels. We're trying to just keep it here. If we want a little bit more, we scooch the knees back. Nice release through the undersides of the feet. Good for knees and ankles. And then from here, we're going to place the tops of the feet down, bottom to the heels again. So if it's the knees that stop you from doing this, you can place the hands forward and then just shift the bottom back towards the heels and lift it out. So the hands are supporting the knees. If not, we're going to try and hold this position as long as we can. You need to lift the bottom up into that high kneeling position. To unload, you can. If you want a little bit more from this, we take the hands down behind us, and we're going to lift the bottom away from the heels, and you get this lovely opening down through the front of the body, down through the thighs. In a standing position, that would look single-sided, foot back, toes on to the ground. Okay, so we get that release through the front of the foot. Okay, from here, we're going to place the toes down. We're going to roll back onto the balls of the feet. And if we can hold this position for a moment, that's great. And then we're going to bring ourselves into standing position. Okay, so from here, we're going to stagger our stance. Both feet are grounded. Okay, and we're just going to gently shift the knee forward over the toes and then bring it back up. And gently shift that knee forward and draw it back up. We're trying to keep both feet grounded. So we glide that knee forward and we lift out. Just go with what feels good for you. So if you know the knees are a bit tired or feeling quite sensitive, keep it as a small range of movement, but repeat that. Okay, and then we can ask the body for a little bit more. We're gliding it forward, trying to keep the feet grounded. Okay. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So we change direction. Okay, so both feet grounded. Okay, we're gliding that front knee forward and then lifting up and out. So the key focus is that front knee, that nice alignment, gliding the knee over the toes. Again, if the knee's feeling super sensitive or uncomfortable, you start with a small range of movement. You repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and then you ask the body for a little bit more. So we're just getting that nice glide over the toes. Okay, so next exercise. We're still keeping a fairly wide stance. Okay, so we've, instead of being forward facing split stance, we're wide stance now. Okay, so from here we're going to do a little bit of work to strengthen through the feet. We're going to take ourselves, I'll show you kind of level one and then we'll add a little bit with the foot in. Okay, so the sequence goes a bit like this. We're going to draw, bend through one side, relax the arm down like we do, and take the fingertips to the sky. Okay, from here we draw back up and we side lunge the opposite way. So we're sitting the bottom back as if we're going to move through a squat on this side, and we draw that down. So we come over, fingertips to the sky. We lift up, we side lunge. And again, depending on how that feels for the body, it can be a super small movement, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if we want to add a little bit more to this, okay, we come up onto the toes of the foot in the direction we're moving to. So we come up onto the toes, we bend through the knee, hand to the sky. Okay, so just, if you're unsure, take a look. The knee that's bent, we're on the toes. We lift up and out, we move into that side lunge. Up onto the toes. Bend the knee, relax the arm down, fingertips to the sky. We lift up and out. Flatten the foot into the side lunge. Okay, up onto the toe. Bring it down, fingertips to the sky. We lift up and out, flatten the foot, both feet flat, into the side lunge. We're going to do one more. Up we come. Take it down. Fingertips to the sky. We lift up and out. We side lunge. Okay, then we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to do a couple of repetitions with flat feet. We bend through the knee, arm down, fingertips to the sky. We come back up and you'll see a slight adjustment of my feet, and we could take it into the side lunge. Adjust the feet as you need to, so we've got that nice alignment of the knee. Bend the knee, relax the arm down, fingertips to the sky. We lift up and out, and then we move into that side lunge. Okay, so this time, we come up onto the toes. Okay, we bend through that knee, wider, arm down, fingertips to the sky. We lift up and out and take it into that side lunge. Okay, up onto the toes. We bend through the knee, arm down onto the leg, fingertips to the sky. We lift up and out, we flatten those feet into that side lunge. Okay, we come up onto the toes. We bend through the knee. We take that arm down, fingertips to the sky. We draw it back up, flatten those feet into the side lunge. Okay, we're going to do one more of those. Up onto the toes. Bend through the knee. Fingertips to the sky. Lift up and out, flatten both feet into the side lunge. Amazing. Okay, so we bring it back to center. We give those legs a nice little shake off. Through the feet. Okay, amazing. We're going to draw one heel to the bottom. Okay, so we think about alignment of the knees. We optimize the position of the rest of the body. We scoop the tailbone under and we get this nice release down through the thigh. Remember that supporting side, length, grounded through the tripod of the foot. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Okay. Alignment of the knees. Optimize the position of the rest of the body. Scoop the tailbone under so we get that release through the thigh. Lengthen through the supporting side. Rounded through the tripod of the foot. And relax back down. Okay, so a staggered stance, but this time a little bit narrower. Okay, so it's a narrow stance. We're going to sit the bottom back. Okay, so this front leg is straight. We're loading through the back leg, and we sit the bottom back, so we've got that straight leg. Okay, just get used to that movement. So the hips are moving straight back. We're trying not to shift or twist. Okay, straight back. Okay, the front leg is straight. So from here, as we take it back, we're going to point through the front toe. So we lift up through the heel, okay? So that's what we're doing. We're lifting the heel off the ground. We lift back up, okay? We sit the bottom back straight with the hips. We lift up through the heel. And we hold. Okay, we lift that back into a standing position. Sit the bottom back, hips straight, lift through the heel of the front foot. We lift it back up, okay? Sit the bottom back, hips straight, lift through the heel of the front foot. And lift that back up. And we're going to do that once more. Then through the back knee, sit the bottom back, straight alignment with the hips, lift the heel of the front foot. We lift up and out of that, and we're going to switch to the other side. Okay, so it's a staggered stance, but it's not super wide. Okay, and we're loading the back leg. Okay, so we take the hips back, we sit the bottom back, nice alignment. Okay, and we're just going to get used to that movement to begin with. Sit the hips back, nice straight alignment, both feet are grounded if possible, and we'll bring that back up. So we add in the heel raise from the front leg. Okay, sit the bottom back, nice straight alignment, lift the heel of the front leg. Okay, and then we bring that back up. Okay, sit the bottom back, nice straight alignment, lift the heel of the front leg. If you need fingertips on a wall or something to support you, you can bring it back up. Okay, but you shouldn't be getting pain or discomfort through the knees or any other part of the body. If you are, I want you to just focus on sitting the bottom back and then bringing it back up. So we're really encouraging nice alignment for the knees. Okay, we sit it back. Lift the heel at the front leg and we stand. We're going to do that once more. Sit it back. Lift the heel of the front foot. Bring it back up. Give those legs a nice little shake off. Okay, we've got one more exercise to do in a standing position. Okay, so we're going to move through a squat. Again, work within a comfortable range, repeat it, and then ask the body for more. Okay, so take the feet into your optimal squat position. So round about shoulder width and a half apart. Allow the toes to just naturally turn out a little bit. Okay, and then we move into the squat and we draw it back out. So it's fairly low level. We want that core engagement, so we're not super tipping forward. Okay, we sit the bottom back, but we also allow the knees to glide forward over the toes. Okay, so the mistake a lot of people make is they sit back and they get no glide forward with the knees. Okay, what we're looking for is the sitting back, but those knees glide forward over the toes. Okay, nice core engagement. Just allow that movement to flow. So even if it's a smaller movement, okay, if you need to adjust the position of the feet, you can. Just allow that to flow. Okay, so this is your base exercise. This is your go-to exercise. If you need to take the next bit out at any point, you can. If you don't want to add the next bit in, you don't have to. Okay, so squat position. Okay, we lift up onto the toes, but we're not coming right up into the heel raise, yeah? It's like we do at the very beginning of the session where we just shift the weight forward onto the balls and feet and the 10 toes. So it's that slight lift. Yeah, and from there, we're taking it down into the squat, and we're powering that back up, okay? So ideally, we're keeping the heel off the ground. Okay, so it takes focus and control. Okay. We power it up, but we're keeping the heel off the ground. Between every repetition, if you need to ground the feet and rest the feet, you can. If that doesn't feel good, just squat with the feet grounded. So we lift it up. Optimal squat. Power it up so we're keeping those heels off the ground. And then if you need to have a little rest, ground the feet, you can. Into the squat. Power it up. Ooh. And lower the heels. We're going to do one more of those. Down. Power it up through the feet and rest and relax that down. Awesome. Okay, so at this point we're going to take ourselves down onto the mat as efficiently as we possibly can, bending through the hips and knees. And the first place we're going to take ourselves is to the child's pose position. So bottom back toward the heels, the arms out in front of us. If you need to modify this position, you can. So it may be that you lift the bottom away from the heels and rest the head on the hand. It may be that you draw your arms down by your side and you rest. The shoulders down towards the ground. Whatever position you're in, we're just going to take a moment to breathe and just notice our full deep breath. So as we breathe in, I want you to think about a nice expansion through the back and sides of the rib cage. And as you breathe out, we're allowing the body to melt down towards the ground. So really think about optimizing your breathing pattern. Just letting go of any tension you're holding on to. Nice nourishing breath for the body. Okay, we'll bring ourselves up and out of that and we're into the 4-point kneeling position. So we're going to cat-cow and then we're going to add something else in so it creates a little sequence of movements. Okay, so again, if kneeling isn't a great, well, we'll start moving through the cat-cow. For most of you, it'll be very familiar. If kneeling isn't an option, you can place your hands on the side, back of the sofa, and we do exactly the same movement. Okay, so it's about that flexion and extension through the spine. So tailbone under, belly button to the spine, and then into the cow, which is tailbone back. Okay. So we're moving through the cat-cow. Work at your own pace. Okay, but don't rush it. So belly button to the sky, bridge through the shoulders, tailbone under, and then we take it down into the cow, tailbone back, lift through the chest, belly button down to the ground. So we're focusing on our spine and that nice movement into flexion, which is the cat, and then extension, which is the cow. Okay, so you can either keep it as it is, or we can do this sequence, right? So we move into the cat, Okay, draw the belly button up towards the spine, and we sit the bottom halfway back. So we take our weight off the wrist, but the feet remain, the hands remain in exactly the same place, so we're getting this release through the shoulders, mid back. Okay. We then lift up out of that, place the toes down onto the mat, sit the bottom halfway back, but this time we take ourselves into the cow position. So tailbone back and lift through the chest. Okay, so the toes are onto the mat and we're in that cow position. Okay, from here, one more. We roll back onto the heels. Okay, so we're in that crouched position. So you get to play around with this exercise. You can add the bits in you like that feel good. If there's something that's not particularly great for you, you can leave that bit out. Or you can just do cat-cow. Okay, so back we go. Tops of the feet flat onto the mat, into the cat, and then we sit the bottom halfway back. So we get this lovely release around the shoulders, shoulder blades, mid-back. Okay, from there, we lift back up, we place the toes onto the mat, and take it into the cow, and then the bottom comes halfway back. Tailbone back, lift through the chest. Nice grounding through the hands. And then from there, we walk the hands back. We roll back towards the heels. Yeah, so the goal is to kind of get those heels as close to the ground as possible into that crouched position. And we're going to do that once more. Okay, tops of the feet flat, lift into the cat, sit the bottom halfway back, maintaining that cat position through the spine. Okay, and place the toes onto the ground. Okay, we'll take it into the cow. Tailbone back, lift through the chest, and then we sit the bottom halfway back, nice and grounded to the hands. Okay, we roll back onto the heels, into that crouched position. Amazing. Okay, so one more exercise in this kneeling position. So we take it high kneeling and we're going to take one foot out in front of us. Okay, so if kneeling is uncomfortable or isn't a great option for you, you can do this in standing, hands on something, okay? And it's going to be taking one foot back and just placing the top of the foot down onto the ground of the mat, holding that position and then bringing it up and switching to the other side. In that kneeling position, we've got one foot forward, okay? We're going to shift the weight forward and place those fingertips down, and we're going to have the top of the foot flat on the ground, and we're just going to lift and lower that knee. Okay, so we're getting this really nice release through the front of the foot, up through the lower leg, and right up into the thigh and the hip. So we just lift and lower through that. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Okay, so the foot's out in front of us. We place both hands down. The top of the foot is flat. And we're going to just lift and lower the knee. So we're creating that release down through the front of the foot, the front of the lower leg, the thigh and the hip. And again, just really noticing how it feels, how this position feels for you. You know, can you feel any tension through there? Is there any areas where you can feel it more? Okay. We lift up and out of that. We're going to take ourselves into a seated position. Legs out in front. And we're going to have one leg straight. We're going to draw one foot towards us. And we're just going to windscreen wiper the foot of the straight leg. Okay, so we turn the toes in and turn them out. And the idea of this is the movement comes from the hip rather than just the foot. Okay, everything rolls in, everything rolls out. This is the deep clean of the hips, so really nice. Super simple exercise, really effective. Amazing. Okay, settle it back to center. This leg is coming up and over. And then this is my right leg is up and over. My left arm is going to swoop round. I'm just going to hug the knee towards my armpit. We get this nice release down through the glute area. Hold that position. The other hand is coming down and supporting me. And then we're going to switch that to the other side. Okay, so first thing we do is windscreen wiper that foot, so we're turning it in and out. Remember, the roll comes from the hip rather than just moving the foot around. Okay, we turn in, we turn out. Okay, settle that foot back to center. This leg, it's up and over. My left leg's coming up and over. My right arm is hooking round and hugging the knee to the armpit. We hold that position. We create that nice release down through the glute. And then we'll bring it back up and over. And we're just going to take those legs into a bent knee position, feet grounded, fingertips pointing backwards, and we're opening through the chest to create an upside down W. Really nice position to be in to create that nice release down through the arms, across the chest. Just hold this position here. Just take a moment to breathe. We lift up and out of that, we take hold of the hamstrings. We're going to roll that down, hook the knees to the chest, give them a little wiggle, massage that lower back into the mat. Amazing. We're going to lower one leg down, so we straighten one leg, ground the hip, ground the leg. And we're just going to take hold of the hamstring. So first of all, keep it super simple. We're just going to straighten through the knee and then bend it. Okay, so the two things we're focusing on here is release through the hamstring and glide through the knee. So we're straightening the legs, foot to the sky, and then bending through the knee. The other leg, we're trying to keep that as grounded as possible. And just moving between those 2 points, heel to bottom, foot to sky. Okay. So we're going to change it a little bit now, a little bit more moving through the foot. So when the leg is relaxed down, the knee is bent, we're going to point the toes. Okay. We're then taking the toes to the sky. So we keep them pointed. We're then going to draw the toes towards us and heel to the sky while the leg is straight. And then we're going to bend the knee. So we point the toes take the toes to the sky, heel to the sky, and then we bend the knee. We point the toes. We take the toes to the sky. We take the heel to the sky. We bend the knee. We're going to do that once more. Point the toes. Toes to the sky. Heel to the sky. And bend the knee. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Okay, so we take hold of the hamstring. Keep it super simple to begin with. We're straightening through the leg. And then we're bending, okay? So straightening through the knee, bending through the knee. Foot to sky, heel to bottom. Working between those 2 points. We're looking for release through the hamstring and glide through the knee. Okay, so we add a bit more to it. We point the toes. Toes to the sky. Heel to the sky. We bend the knee. We point the toes. Toes to the sky. Heel to the sky. We bend the knee. We point the toes. Toes to the sky. Heel to the sky. We bend the knee. And then we do that once more. Point the toes. Toes to the sky. Heel to the sky. And bend the knee. Okay. Both feet grounded, both knees bent. We're going to take the arms out to the side, keeping the shoulders as grounded as possible. We're lowering the knees over to the side. Then we're rolling back through the pelvis, back to center, and then over to the other side. So we're getting this nice release through the lower back, through rotation. There we go. And draw back to center. A nice fluid movement. Don't rush it. Notice how it feels through that rotation. Keep the shoulders grounded. Back to center. We're going to take our arms down by our side. We're going to work through the shoulder bridge. Okay, so start really simple with it. Scoop the tailbone under, flatten the lower back to the mat. The feet are grounded. And then we're going to roll up through the spine, pelvis to the sky. And at the top, we squeeze through the bum cheeks. And then we roll down one vertebra at a time. So we're mobilizing through the spine as well as engaging through the body and working the body. Scoop under. Pelvis to the sky, squeeze through the glutes at the top. And then we roll it down. Okay, we're going to do one more of those and then we'll add something in. Scoop under. All the way up to the sky, squeeze through the glutes at the top. And then we roll it down. Okay. So we're going to add the arms in now. As we take the bottom, as the pelvis to the sky, we're going to take the arms up and over. So it's the same movement. The arms come up and over the head and we relax the arms down onto the ground. We squeeze through the glutes at the top. We're then going to roll down through the spine. So we're focusing on mobility through the spine. If you hit a stuck point, the arms come up and over to assist you. Okay? Otherwise, you leave the arms overhead, you roll all the way down, then the arms come down to the side. You scoop under. The arms come up and over as we lift the pelvis to the sky. We squeeze through the glutes at the Okay, we roll down one vertebrae at a time. So we're really thinking about mobility to the shoulders and mid-back. And then the arms come down by side. Up we go again, scoop under. The arms come up and over. Squeeze through the glutes at the top. You roll it down. Just noticing that release through the spine. Lovely roll. Okay, the arms come down. Perfect. We're going to do that once more. We scoop under. The arms come up and over. We squeeze through the glutes at the top. And roll it down. Remember, if the arms, the spine hits a split point, the arms come back up and over. Okay. Bring it back. Straighten out through the legs, take the arms overhead. Stretch everything out. I just want you to gently draw your belly button towards your spine so we get a nice release around the rib cage. If there's any areas of tension, we can kind of just see if we can notice that. We're looking for some nice kind of, for it to feel really good around the rib cage and the abdominals. Reach, and we stretch everything out. Okay, from there we turn over onto our side. Okay, so the way we're going to do this one today, the arm is out, underneath arm is untucked through the shoulder, arm is at eye level, hips and knees are stacked, and we're going to do the opening of the book. Rather than the big full circle or the bow and arrow, we're going to open the book. If it doesn't feel great, you can revert back to what we normally do, which is keeping that hand close to the chest. Okay, if you know your shoulders are a little bit sensitive, then keeping the hand close to the chest and moving through the bow and arrow is a really good shout. Okay, so alternatively, we are going to glide the hand forward as we normally do. Hand is coming up and over as if we were opening a book. Okay, and then we're going to close the book. So the hand comes up and over and the palms come together. Okay, if you want more from this, you can straighten the bottom underneath leg and keep the top one bent so it anchors the pelvis. We glide forward, we open the book, and you'll find that it's more challenging to get that range of movement. Okay, so it's entirely up to you how you do this. Okay, we open the book and then we close the book. And even if when you're opening the book at the end of range, even if you get a little lift through the upper leg, the knee rises off the ground, that's okay. We're going to do one more. So remember, we're either keeping the hand close to the chest and doing the bow and arrow, or we're opening and closing the book. Brilliant. So we switch it on to the other side. Okay, so underneath arm is untucked through the shoulder, the hand is at eye level, hips and knees stacked. I'm just going to do the first couple of repetitions with the hips and knees stacked. So if you know your shoulders are super sensitive, glide the hand forward, keep the hand tucked to the chest, and then we bow and arrow the arm. Okay, so if you know everything's sensitive around the shoulder, keep the hand tucked in. Okay, alternatively, you're going to glide forward, you're going to open the book and then close it. So I would suggest, even if the shoulders, are maybe a weak spot for you, or you're having a little bit of kind of discomfort through there, I would give the opening and closing the book a go. But you know, you've always got that bow and arrow to revert back to. If you want more, we straighten the underneath leg and top knee is still bent, but that anchors the pelvis. And we're just going to glide the hand forward and open that out. And again, if we get a little bit of lift through the top leg, that's okay. We glide it forward. We open it out. Really, really great release exercise for the upper body, across the chest, the shoulder complex, the mid-back, even down to the pelvis. We're going to do one more. We open the book, close the book. Amazing. We take ourselves onto our back, shove those knees to the chest. And then we're going to take ourselves into a nice comfortable position, wherever that may be. So you can move, you can stretch. We're just going to take a moment to focus on our breathing pattern. Really important, great way to either end the day or set us up nicely for the day. We can control so much through our breathing pattern and just being aware of it and adapting it. If we are hectic, busy, worried, stressed, then it is very difficult to control the mind with the mind. We can take our awareness to our breathing pattern and we can create a more efficient breathing pattern to send the body into a state of calm or a calmer state. So we're just going to take a moment to notice what our breathing pattern's like. And something we're going to try and do is, as we breathe in, we're going to try and imagine that we're filling our body with air, so we get a nice expansion out through the rib cage and we get a gentle rise through the tummy. So imagine we're filling the body with air like a balloon. And then as you breathe out, when areas of the body that are in contact with the ground, we're just going to allow them to melt down into the mat, into the ground. So that's with the breath out. So we notice what our breathing pattern feels like. Through the nose, our throat, our chest and lungs, all the way down to our tummy and our pelvis. And I want you to try and create a slightly longer breath out than the breath in. And quite a simple thing to do to help with that is to add a count to the breath. So it can be as simple as counting to 4 on your breath in and counting to either 6 or 8 on your breath out, whatever works for you. It's a great way to focus the mind and to create a nice flowing rhythmical breath. And remember, with that breath out, we're just allowing the body to melt down into the mat. And if there's a particular area in your body where you know you carry your tension, I want you to take your awareness there, your focus to that part of the body. And we're going to really try and release some of that tension with using our breath. So if we're holding ourselves a little bit tense in a specific area, we're just going to breathe and melt that part of the body down towards the ground. We're just going to give our fingers a wiggle, our toes a wiggle. If we've had our eyes closed, we're going to open them. I'm just going to take a moment to move in a way you feel would be most beneficial for you at this moment in time. And when you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves into a seated position. Okay, so we're going to have our legs crossed to begin with, and just do a little bit of release through the neck and shoulders. Okay, so legs crossed. Ideally, the goal is to be able to relax those legs down into this position so it's nice and comfortable. We relax the hands down onto the knees. I'm going to take the chin down to the chest, creating length through the back of the neck. We're going to roll the ear to the shoulder. Okay, we roll the chin to the chest and then go in the other direction, into the shoulder. Okay, so nice fluid movement. If you get a little bit of clumping and clicking, that's okay. As the ear reaches the shoulder, we're going to glance to the sky, so we just create this release down through the front of the neck. The chin to chest, ear to shoulder, glance to the sky. Okay, now we can either keep it as it is, or we can roll through a big full circle. So we're taking the neck into extension, which is glance to the sky, roll the neck back, look at the sky, and then back to center. And if we're going to take a full circle, we change direction after each circle. Okay, so really, we should be able to complete this movement without pain or discomfort. However, if it is uncomfortable for the neck, just keep it in that semicircle. Okay, so the first part of the exercise you did. But as you do this, I just want you to notice if there's any areas of tightness or discomfort. We relax it back to center. The arms, now, we're going to imagine we're hugging a beach ball, and we're just going to draw those shoulder blades around the rib cage away from the spine. So we're hugging that beach ball. And then we're going to open through the chest. And if you would like to, if it feels nicer, you can place those fingertips down and just really lift through that chest. So we're going to bring the arms round and hug the beach ball. So just give you kind of that side view. We're hugging that beach ball and drawing the belly button towards the spine. So we're getting that rounding through the spine. And then we're going to lift up open the hands, we can place them down behind us, fingertips down and lift and open through chest. And we go again. Round the arms, the back, hug that big beach ball. Glide the shoulder blades away from the spine. And then we open. We either just hold that open position or we can place its fingertips down and lift the chest. We're going to do that once more. We hug it round, all the way round. And then we open through the chest. Relax there. We're just going to take the feet together. Okay, so with froggy leg position, you can either hold the ankles and support the ankles, or you can place the fingertips down behind us. But be careful we don't squinch through the shoulders. If you want more support, you can place your back against a wall, and then you can really focus on the position of the legs. Okay, and we're just encouraging those knees out to the side. Nice length through the spine. And then if we can, with this position, we just gently fold forward. So I'm using the feet as a kind of anchor point, which allows me to just subtly draw forward. Okay, and again, you know, depending on your flexibility and hip mobility, okay, you may be able to get further than what I'm doing. But it's, for me, it's a very subtle movement. Okay, lifting up, lengthening through the spine, just placing those fingertips down behind and opening through the chest. Okay. You take hold of the feet, create that anchor, that support, and we're just going to gently fold forward. So this is great if you're holding any tension through the inner thigh, so the adductors. This is great, just to help create that release. We lift up and out, fingertips down behind us, open through that chest, encourage those knees down to the side. And then we're going to do that once more. Take hold of the feet. Fold it forward. Fingertips back. Open through the chest. Okay, we take the legs out in front of us, hands down behind us, and just make sure we're letting go through the hips, relaxing through those legs. We've got length through the spine, and we've got that lovely opening through the chest. A couple of big full breaths to finish. Yeah, good. And twisted.